Several of the therapists on my team at 1A Wellness, including myself, really enjoy working with men in our practice and doing therapy with men, either in individual work or couples work. And I was chatting with one of my colleagues recently. We are trying to really think about what is it that we so enjoy about the opportunity to sort of journey with men through the process of therapy. And while these are generalizations, there are kind of several key themes that come to mind. One is that for many of the men who choose to come to our practice, not uncommon, but hopefully changing, is that they really haven't been given a space in their lives to really understand, consider, validate, legitimize their internal and emotional landscape. Knowing what they're feeling, putting language on what they're feeling, being encouraged to sort of share, know how to make use of that emotional data is just not something, those kind of skills that they had the opportunity to sort of practice freely without fear of ridicule or the kind of emotional safety that's needed for that kind of vulnerability. So there's something, it's just a real privilege to sort of journey with men through many of whom for the first time are coming with a certain kind of courage to embrace, understand, learn about an aspect of themselves that they may have pushed aside while focusing on other aspects of who they are or of other tools in their tool chest. In addition, with that, if you think about, now there's just so much splitting in our culture, right? Splitting politically, just splitting in families, splitting within couples, and even sort of the gender divide. This idea that women are the ones who are sensitive, who are emotional, who are adept with feelings. The other hand, men are not. And what we certainly find and see, and I would just say I know that men are equally as emotional, caring. They have very deep emotional lives, as we all do, right? But there just hasn't been, for many of them, the opportunity to express it and come to know themselves in that way. So it's a particular joy, I would say, in just the chance to, when you're not able to kind of know what you feel, right? Or there's a whole, you're sort of allowed the intellectual, practical, analytical, physical, or either just sort of certain aspects of your emotional life, like anger and frustration, but you're not allowed to know your vulnerability or your anxiety or your fear. There's just whole parts of yourself that have been cut off that you no longer have access to. And seeing how hard the men in our practice work to sort of integrate those other parts of themselves, understand their emotional landscape, and work to heal their relationships, it's just such a privilege.